Hello, it is Erica Danielle with Heartbreak Hotel again. I hope you guys are doing amazing, feeling lovely. When you feel good, you do good. So, that is my wish for you guys on today. I am here today to talk about forgiveness. And you may say, what in the world does forgiveness have to do with my grief journey? And it has to do a lot with it. Forgiveness means to let go of something, to get rid of an emotion that you feel about something or someone, to not have hard feelings towards that person. And it's very hard to do for some people. And when you are dealing with grief or the loss of a loved one, there is a lot of forgiving that has to go on. So I have a couple of points today to make, and I'm going to use myself as an example, of course, because who else can I talk about but me? I try to be very intentional about these videos because I don't want to ramble, but I can tend to be a rambler. So please forgive me. Very soon we're going to have guests on this show. I'm so excited for others to share their experience. But I wanted to come on today and talk about forgiveness because it's not often talked about within our community, because sometimes, and this is me speaking from experience, sometimes when you endure a lot of grief, you can place a lot of blame, and sometimes you can become the victim and you're like, who do I need to forgive? And I absolutely have every right to feel the way I feel. You do, but not forgiving is only going to hurt you in the long run. Okay, so let me talk about who you may possibly have to forgive on this grief journey. Okay, number one, people. You know the people, family and friends, people that acted up at the funeral, people that wanted things from your loved one. Prime example, because there's no better way to say this. When I was a kid and my mom died, it was amazing, astonishing to me to see the amount of people that came within a matter of weeks asking for things. Now, this is hindsight is 2020. So when I was going through it, I didn't get it. I was in a fog. People were asking for pocketbooks, sewing machines, clothes, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm not saying I don't need it, I don't want it, but I wasn't in the space to even actually answer. And when I came to myself and realized that I had pretty much given away everything, I was angry. I was angry at them for like, why would you even ask me that? For a long time, I was angry when my mom passed, and I felt like people should have been there for me that were not there. Not just at the funeral, but like, hey, I'm away in college. Nobody called. Nobody checked on me. Nobody says, are you hungry? Do you need a ride home? Nobody says, how's Erica doing? It was just kind of like her mom died. She's in college. She's on her own. I was very, very angry. So those are the types of people that I had to forgive in those instances. I had to forgive people when my husband died. People said things about me that were not true. I had to forgive them. I don't know, want to go into that right now, but I had to forgive some of my husband's friends who I felt like were bad influences to him and were attributed to his death, if that makes sense. I'll get into that later. Not this live, but another live. Then some of us, we have to forgive ourselves. We think, what could we have done to keep our loved one alive? And the answer is nothing. You are not that powerful, sweetheart. I wish we were. If we were that powerful, we would have kept them alive. I felt like sometimes maybe if I wouldn't have went off to college, my mom would have been okay. I could have been there. She would have been alive. I could have helped her. I'm not that powerful. My nephew who got shot, I always thought, what if I had adopted them and they had lived with me and, he wouldn't have been where he was. I have to forgive myself because I don't have control over what happens. And I understand some of us have seen people die. Some of us have been caretakers. But still, that power is not even in your hands. And even if it was something that you feel like you caused or you did, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. You are forgiven. Ask for forgiveness and you will be forgiven, okay? That's just the principle. Some of us have to forgive God. And that's okay. People don't like to talk about how we are angry with God or how we become angry with God, or whatever faith we have. Like, how dare you? Why would you take my loved one away from me? That is a real thing. We have to forgive God and understand that holding on to unforgiveness only hurts us. You cannot move forward with unforgiveness in your heart. You cannot. You cannot. You would try, but I'm telling you, it's like you're holding on to something and you already know when you're holding on to something, nothing can get in, right? So you got to let it go. And then lastly, I want to talk about forgiving the person that died, right? That sounds stupid, right? Some people that haven't lost anyone, maybe you've never felt that way, but if you felt that way, then here is your moment where you don't feel so crazy, okay? Forgiving the person that left you. Like, dude, we were supposed to be married forever. We were supposed to, hey, we had trips planned. We had kids planned. We had Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners planned. I mean, like, why did you leave me? Like, I'm mad at you. How dare you? Especially people that passed away due to suicide, due to overdose, due to some type of neglect on their part. You might even be upset even if they had no damage on their own part, like they didn't do it to themselves. But forgive. They didn't mean to do it. If they did it, they had no control over it. And if they did have control over it, please believe there was something deeper and hurting them more than what you could handle, okay? So forgive the person that left you. Forgive the person that you missed. Forgive the person that you lost. And understand that it's better for you. And I'll leave you with this story. I remember I was in the checkout line. I think it was a Mother's Day. It might have been like the first Mother's Day. No, it was I don't know. It was some day. Anyway, I was in the checkout line. This lady was standing in front of me. It was at the Dollar Tree because my memory sucks. And it was some kind of holiday because she was wondering how was I at the store, and she was telling the attendant, she said, you know, how she had just lost her husband, and she was maybe in her like 60s or 70s. And so I just smiled, and she said how, you know, that holiday was so hard because you know, she lost her husband, she missed him, and the grandkids, and yada yada yada. And I said, I completely understand. I lost my husband too. Now, mind you, when I'm telling her this, I'm probably 33 years old telling her this. And so she was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I don't even know how you're standing up right now. I don't know, like, how you're in the store today. Because if I were you, I would be at home, you know, crying. I'm barely making it now. And I said, you know what? And I never forget, I said, you know what? This is the trick of the enemy to make me think that something or somebody, the universe and God, is out to get me. Clearly, you're not the only widow because you just met a widow, right? So I have to forgive. I can't be upset with the world like, oh, woe is me. Oh my God, I can't believe this has happened to me, because I want to be better and not bitter. I refuse to allow unforgiveness to make me bitter, okay? So that's my tip for you guys today, is to be better, not bitter. And the first way to be better is to start to forgive, okay? Whoever you need to forgive, do it today. And it's not easy. It's not easy. If you need to forgive, just keep saying, I forgive that person. I forgive that person. I forgive that person. Over and over, over and over, till you feel it, okay? And you may have to do it more than once, because somebody might piss you off again to make you mad at them again. Or you might think of something and get mad again. But forgive continually, okay? Have a wonderful day. Hope you guys decide to forgive.